Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. In this video, I thought I'd do something kind of different and let you come along while I review all of the current projects that I have to look at for today in my full course. So you'll get a glimpse of what kind of stuff the students are asking me, what their projects are like, the kind of feedback I leave, and yeah. Okay, so without further ado, let's dig in. You can see I've got a bunch of people here that I need to respond to, so let's get started. All right, so the first thing we do is we just click on one of them and we start going through and see what they come up with. All right, so Bobby Balo. All right, so pinned items. So what I have to do for this is I need to pull up the project that they did, open that in a new tab, and then open up their pull request. So once their project is loaded, I can then run it and see if there are warnings or errors or anything. If there are warnings, then I'll look here and see if it's like the kind of warning that I can fix and whatnot. And all right, so this is good to go. So I don't need to do anything there. So I can just go right here and I can look at the changes that he made. So apparently I have already requested a bunch of stuff. So let's see what it is. Those review changes. There we go, that's correct. Let's see, changes since last review. All right, and I said call, ignore, unused. This is unconventional. Is this notation recommended for long lists? No. So I'll say, no, this notation is not recommended. You would use this notation with curly braces, like that, if you were defining a, if you were initializing an object, or some container that took a std initializer as a function parameter. So revise, you need to revise that. All right, let's see if he does it again down here. All this was fine. I asked him to fix his indentation. Returns what I asked him to call these. Ignore the funcs. Is that what he was supposed to do? Let's see. We can look here and see what happens. So we want to see if users sound okay. So, oops, cancel that. This is what he needs to revise this. So revise this. Revise. Don't use this style for passing arguments to a function. Add review comment. All right. Request changes. All right. So that takes care of one person. And I just send them the link and say, you've got some things to fix, but you're getting there. All right. That's one. So we can close that. On to the next. We close that. We can close these. All right. Let's see what Brian Self has to say. Project 4, part 3. All right. So we'll open that. Go down here to project 4. He's pretty far along in the course. Project 4, part 3 is here. So he's got all of these left to do. All right, so let's see what he's got. We'll run this, pull it up there in case I have to look at it, and we'll start our review. And this is also good because I don't remember what the instructions were. All right, so we got this padding thing. Let's see. Add user-defined conversion functions. Okay, so let's get rid of this warning. We'll deal with that first. HW no padded run. All right, warning is taken care of. Good to go. All right, so now we can actually look at his code. And let me pull these instructions up again. Move all of your implementations out. Add user-defined. Make your variable private. Okay, so let's make sure that he did that. All right, so that's private. This should be, it doesn't matter. Okay, so this is also private. That's fine. Also, okay. So now we can review this code. So he was supposed to add user-defined conversion functions. That's correct. That is also correct. Also correct. Also correct. Also correct. And then let's see. So he got rid of all that stuff for some reason. All right. Okay, good. Did I say to change main or not? Do not remove anything from main. You'll be revising main. Okay. And all right. So let's see. I think yes. Okay. So this right here is what used to be here. Okay. So this should all be the same. And for the most part, it is. So this is good to go. The only thing which he will find out later is that this is missing const. This needs to be a const member function, but he will find out about that later. So we'll leave this alone. This is perfectly fine. So there's no changes that need to be made. This is good to go. So I will approve it. Then we'll merge it. Then it will add the new instructions. Merge pull request, confirm merge. I don't need this anymore. Now I can go up to the code and I can add the new code to the project, main.cpp. All right, so he's project 4, part 4. So I need to go over to the course project files. Let me go find those. Those are here in this tab. All right, so he is project 4, part 3. So now he's in project 4, part 4. So projects, project 4, part 4, copy this, paste this here. All right, and do I have to do anything else? No. Okay, so added part 4 instructions, commit changes. All right, so he's good to go there. So now I just need to tell him that he's good to go. All right, so let me find that. Let's see, that's this message here. All right, merge your pull request for project 4, part 3. So now that he completed that, project 4, part 3, next is project 8. Project 8, there you go. All right, another one done. We'll notify him, he knows. Okay, that takes care of that. We can close this. To the next one, Cosmic Monkey Sounds. Let's see what you got. Re-requested pull request for project 8. Okay, so let's take a look. And we need to pull up the project itself. So this guy is currently doing the project that previous person just got advanced to. Fully compiling, it says. All right, what changes did I request? I can look at all these and see what I asked him to do. All right, revert to original implementation. Okay, we'll look at that later. Use else if, you should do assignment instead of addition assignment. Trucks don't pull over, they evade, or they pull over, they don't try to evade. Okay, so let's see if he did those things. Let's see, is this the original implementation? Yes, it is, I remember that, okay. Here's the else if, all right, so this is good. Here's the else if that I asked him to do, that's good. Now over here I had said do assignment instead of addition, so that's also correct. This one, he added some new lines, that's fine. Here he added the pullover, and he just copied the implementation from the car, so that's fine. All right, so this, let's run it and see if there's anything I need to add. This one always seems to take a few moments to compile. That's okay. So we'll, let's just look at the whole project. Show all changes. All right, and we'll just expand all of these. Hide viewed files. Don't hide them. There we go. All right, so you can be hidden. Okay, this was the original implementation, and this is the same one there, so that's fine. This is also fine. Okay, he added a close windows function. This syntax is a little ugly for me, so I will make that change right there. That's in the car.h. Okay, this finished. No warnings, so he's good to go. This operator right there, like that, that's good to go there. All right, let's look for the next one. This is the highway.cpp. This is all fine. Depending on call the member function that tries to evade the cops. All correct. Call the member function that doesn't. Okay, doesn't need that. You must have some auto formatter that is doing that. All right, so this file is fine. And the next one, this was fine. All right, highway patrol. So the same thing here, I don't like that space. So I'm gonna fix that formatting for him. Highway patrol, that there. Okay, all of this was fine. Yep, okay, that's good to go. Same thing for highway patrol.h. Which one was the one? Was it highway.h that I didn't like the assignment? No, was it, I thought I just fixed that. I must have been mistaken. Well, I'll take a look at the project in a little bit. So I know I need to do it for motorcycle.h. Semi-truck probably needs it too. Yep, same for vehicle for whatever reason. So I'll send him a message that says, hey, I corrected these, and the reason is because blah, 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 blah. All right, so that's fine. All right, and this is also fine. This one was also fine. This was fine as well. I need to look through those CPP files and correct that. So these weird spacings are what I was commenting on. And then this was also good to go. All right, so he's done here. So I just need to make those changes to those file names, those function names. So once I finish making these edits, this doesn't have that, neither does highway. Oh, this needs to be corrected. That's no good. So I will mark that. That's the add vehicle internal. Highway, add vehicle internal. Or you know what, maybe this needs to be pulled in from the latest changes. Let's see. We'll discard this. Why does this look like that? So that's a question that I need to ask. Why does this look like this, add vehicle internal, but this one doesn't look like that? What is going on there? Since this clearly looks correct. So let's discard this, cancel. We'll switch to the master branch. We'll discard. All right, so here's my instructions. Waiting for this to refresh. Go back to part 1. See if it asks me to pull. So the cool thing about all this stuff is all this code is public. Oh, so here we go. Now it's got the correct formatting changes. So I don't need to make a comment on that. So that's perfect. So I can continue what I was doing, looking through these files, car.cpp, fixing that formatting. Let's see, highway patrol, motorcycle, motorcycle.cpp, and semi-truck.cpp, and vehicle, followed by vehicle.cpp. Okay, so once this loads, now I can do formatting of operator equals name. So that'll make a commit. That's going to show up here. It'll say refreshed. refresh. All right, and that'll take care of this. That's corrected now. Also corrected. This was also corrected. Also corrected. Also corrected. So corrected. Good to go. Good to go. And good to go. All right. So he's all done here, and I'll just let him know about the operator over thing in the operator assignment thing in the Slack workspace. Prove and merge. Merge. All right. Nice work on this one. You should be aware that the function name in the operator is operator, not operator, all by itself. I corrected your function names. Some people prefer to write operator and then the symbol, operator, then a space, and then the symbol, like this, operator plus arg. But no one does operator space equals. Okay, so he's good to go. I corrected them here. So let me go over here and let me send him the commit so he can see it for himself. And then I also merged it, so that completes project 8 for him. He did all the work on that one, so that's good to go. Project 8 only has one part, so he's good to go there. So he gets to go to project 4, part 4. Whoa, why is that on all caps? Project 4, part 4. All right, off and running. Okay, did I have anything else to add to that? Let me just take a look. No, that was it. Okay, so he's done. All right, so we'll keep chipping away at these. What do you have for me, CSD Productions? Updated and pushed. All right, so that's this guy. Project 3, pull 1. So he must be on the first part of project 1. He just started the course. All right, so we're just waiting for this to load up. Move on to checkpoint 2. Okay, so this is the simple thing. He just needs to make a, where is his show all commits? He needs to have projects 1. He needs to have 1 through 4 created, and okay. Hey, you didn't do checkpoint 2. Please ping me when you do checkpoint 2. So checkpoint 2 was, if we go over look at the code, this is one of the projects that you get to experience in the trial. Checkpoint 2 is this, checkpoint 2. So he currently completed this. He needs to do this part next. And in my pull request, I had told him, move on to checkpoint 2. So he didn't do that. All right, so he is done. Let's see what Culture Bunker has for me on project 4, part 8. So he's far, he's like right here. He's gonna be done soon. He's gonna start project 10 in a little bit. All right, so project 4, part 8, let's see what we get. Maybe he's rocking. Maybe he gets to move on to, I think project 9 is next. Yeah, project 9, maybe that's what he does next. Let's see, add your review. He says it's running. So let me look at the instructions and see what you're supposed to do. Okay, he needs to make the temporary. That's correct. That's also correct. So this is good. Let me look at the other instructions. Your job is to replace the own type with this. Okay, here's the starting point. Add the definition. That's fine. Most people put it on separate lines. Is that the right type? Yes, int counter. That's right. Okay, so that's good to go. You need to template your overloaded math operator functions. So let's see if he did that. He's got some warnings that he needs to fix. So I immediately just need to stop what I'm doing and say, please handle your warnings. Please cast. All right, so I'll just copy these and say, hey, you got 2 warnings. Hey, you've got 2 warnings. Please use your knowledge of casting to solve them. And is there anything else to do? I don't know why he commented that out. All right, so this project is always a beast. There's the assignment one. Templated that, templated this correctly. And then let's see what we have here. This is the same, so that's fine. All right, so a lot of this is just adding correct casting. This was multiplication, so that's also correct. Use a service like blah, 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 blah. So he's definitely not getting the correct output for some reason. And that's because these are not supposed to return that. These are supposed to return the temporary. Because he's supposed to do using my type equals t, and then replace t with the temporary. All right, so we'll go up here and say, let's see, where's that first instruction? All right, you need to adjust your using directive at the top of your templated class to match, to conform to this instruction. You currently have this. Replace the owned type, the primitive specified from the class with the struct named temporary, okay? All right, so that's his review. So I'm not gonna modify this. I believe once he does that, he'll get the output that he's supposed to get. All right, so we'll close that, we'll close that. Ping me when you make that change. it should give you the desired output that the instructions ask for. Boom. Okay, and you are on project 10. Oh, he didn't say anything. He's just asking for a little review about this. No problem. Hit me if you have a pull request to look at for that issue, that first issue. Okay, done with that guy. All right, what do you got, Jerry Lee Melton? What do you have? Project 6. Okay, that's always. All right, so we'll wait for this to load. We will run this, see if there are any warnings. The only warning should be a padded warning. Everything else is good to go. All right, so he's just got the padded warning, so I will take care of that. -w no padded, and run it again. And now I can look here and start my review. All right, so I will, okay, so he said, this works. You could have done this works, but you should do member initialization. But you should use the otherwise, or let's see. The reason is because the members are default constructed, and then you are calling their assignment. Basically initializes them a second time. Not really, but it's the equivalent functionality. Not really, but it's the equivalent. Yep, equivalent. Revise. Start a review. Okay, good. He got that part where you gotta make these null pointer, or check for null pointer. Same for here. Same for here. So that's good to go. He did those correctly. He did all those correctly. So that's the only thing that needs to be handled. All right, cool. So cool. Just one change needed. All right, so he gets that. Almost there. And let me push this. Cleared padding warning. So he got his review. I pushed that commit. So he's good to go. Just too high. What are you up to? Project 4 part 7, I believe. Project 4 part 7. Again, another person at the end. And so we'll run it, see what kind of code we got. Make sure I'm up to speed on these instructions. We have a little bit of water while this is loading. All right. Replace with a templated class. Add using directive. You need to pair it with decal type. Okay. Are there any warnings? There are no warnings, so he's good to go there. All right, so let's see. This is good. What was A? All right, that should be indented. So this is fine. Permanent value. All right. So I'm already aware that this logic that he's got here is not correct. If the primitive is the same, if RHS, he needs to check first the logic. So this needs revision here, so I need to mark this. So add your review. Oh, he did a lot of work on this already. If I go back to the commits, or go back to the conversation. Files changed. Let me start this review. And that's already, let's see, it's correct. This is also good to go. This is what I meant about how people, so this spacing right here needs to be fixed. So like he's inconsistent with it, with this gap right there versus the gap right here, versus how he did it here. So one thing that I find to be really important is making sure your code is as readable as possible. Right, so for this, I need to say that this logic does not match the instructions. Let me add the instructions in there for him. Those are up here. Revise. He didn't check for this one. Okay. And let's see. So that's the first thing that needs to happen. All right, let's look at his other one. That's fine. And for the this is for the specialized template. Fine. All of that was fine. We go down to the bottom. Is that the name I gave it? With a templated class called numeric. All right, so he needs to do that. So we'll go up here to the top. He needs to do that for this one. Revise. He did pretty good, except for this minor thing. This is the only thing. And the reason for that is because in the next two or three, next two project parts, he has to run a specific main program, and that depends on this having that name. Revise. But he did pretty good on this. This was a pretty good one. All right, call the apply function twice, once with a lambda and once with a free function. Let's see if he did that. Let me add this review comment. So that's what we're looking for down here. That's good. That's the lambda. Here's the free function. Good. There's the lambda. He templated it correctly. There's the lambda. All right, so yeah, everything about this is cool. You just had those few minor issues. So this is actually really good. So I'll say, nice work, almost there. Just a couple, just a few minor changes. Oh, and while I'm here, let me fix those operator overloadings for him. It doesn't make sense to leave review comments for that kind of stuff. It's so easy to fix, you know? Okay, So let me commit that. Operator. Let me copy this because I'm going to copy, refresh. I can finish my review. Review changes, request changes. Nice work, almost there. All right, cool. That takes care of this. We can go to that. All right, getting there. Okay, let's see. Let's look at Renata's first. Fix the fix me's. The one about float type divide warning was already there. Let's see. You forgot the warn. All right, so view changes. Let's see. Changes from all. Show me all of the changes. All right, so float type needs the warning. Your double type does not have a warning. So I need to let them know. Your double type divide needs the same warning that float type divide. And I'll just send a screenshot so they are aware that it's not in the pull request. It's not in the pull request. Did you forget? Perhaps you forgot to commit. Perhaps you forgot to commit if you added it. And let's see, everything else was fine. All this, yeah, all of this was good. That's the only change needed. Please ping me after you implement it so I can merge this and move you on to the next project part. There we go. All right. The dude abides 1984. What do you have for me? You have 6 regarding your web dev question. I'm most certainly not. That's because I asked over here if anybody was a web dev. All right, so I'll take a look at that later. Project 5, part 2. Finish part 1. Okay, so project 5 is what you are on. Pull this up here. Let's start our review. Let's run this and pull up the instructions. Okay, we've got the same padding warnings, so let's just deal with that right now. -w no padded run. All right, let's see. If you don't have any stdc on some main, let's do that. Oh, this keyword, okay. So for this one, they need to have 2, they need to have stdc out statements that do something in main, then they need to have a member function that does essentially the same thing, but explicitly uses the this keyword. So that way they are proving to me that they know how to use that correctly. All right, so let's take a look down here. I think he has an auto formatter that like automatically indents things correctly. All right, so if everything is cool, then I will see duplicate. Oh, did this not take? Warning, padding size. I added that. I said no padded. Oh, you know what? Replit changed their thing. They have this weird output, so we'll run that again. Okay, cool. No warnings. All right. Bob is too skinny and only weighs 45 pounds. Let's go look at your main. See what we get. Bob is too skinny, and then it calls Bob MF game weight. I wonder what MF means. Where is that function? This name is too skinny. Oh, maybe it's a MF for member function. This is all good. One thing I'm also checking is the formatting. So he did a real nice job of indenting this way, which is really, really helpful. Makes the code really easy to look at. All right, so he's good to go here. So now I get to, this is all fine. He's rocking. So I can approve this, I can merge it. All right, so this is good. Let's just take one more look. Make sure there's nothing weird here. So constructor initializer list here. In class initialization there. All right, rock and roll. That's good to go. All right, so he's good there. Approve, submit review, close that. What was that? Project 5 part 2? Oh, so I actually do need that open to do project 5 part 3. That's what he needs to do. And actually, the easiest way for me to get that going is to just copy this link, and then once I merge it, confirm merge. Now the easiest way for me to do that is copy the link, go over here, make a new project. Well, I can get rid of this. Paste this and then do git clone. Git clone, copy that, and just add the things in this way. All right, there's the project 5. So let me add this here. Oh, cancel. Let's get rid of this. Close that. Add this. Here's this project 5. All right, so he's up to project 2 part 4. I just approved this. So now I can add project. Let's see. Let me shrink this, and shrink, because that doesn't need to be that big. All right, he's on project 5 part 3. So this one, he gets some files added, and then he gets part 3 main. All right, so let's do that. He loses the example as well. That takes care of that. And is this calling main, example main? Yes, that's gone, so that's gone as well. All right, so now I need to save this. Now I can say added part 3 instruction. And go and push. Just wait for that to push. All right, rock and roll. So this is good to go there. I can go back and look at the code here. And now he's got his updated stuff, added part 3. And if I'm unsure, I can just look here. Here's the merge. Then there's the added part 3. So now I can let him know that His project part has been merged, and he can move on to the next project part. All right, merge your pull request for project 5, part 2. Your next project part is, let's see, 5 part 2, 6 part 1. Project 6, part 1. All right, cool. Let's see what you have for me, Manned PD. All right, so he is new to the course, so let's get him set up. So we'll close these, open all of these. It was cool, I had somebody join the course today, April 30th. All right, so now I can go through all of these, except you'll get to see what I have to do to set these up. Doesn't take too long. It's definitely something that I wish I could automate. All right, these are all set up. All right, now I just copy this link, copy that. I go over here, I can close this project, make a new one, paste. All right, cool. Now before I do that, let me go over here and switch to fork. And I think I made some changes. Let's see, there's one change. Fetch, yes, I improved 2.1 instructions. So I need to make sure that I pull those in. Okay, good to go. All right, now I can do these. Okay, so get rid of this. Whoops. .git clone. All right, cool. Now I go over to Finder. I get rid of this. Go to terminal. Now I'm going to clone all of these. These are all going to clone, and while that's doing that, let me get rid of that. Close that. Once these all finish cloning, now I can set them up. Close later. All right, let's set this guy up. All right, so let me expand all of these. You'll get to see what's involved with setting up these projects. All right, so project 1, part 1. Save. All right, care of that. Project 2, part 1. Copy that, paste that here. Save. Project 3, part 1. Copy, paste, save. Project 4, part 1. Copy, it's that guy. Select all, paste, save. All right, and project 5, part 1. Close that. Project 6, part 1. Right, there you go there. Save that, close that, and then add this screenshot to it. That's one of the things in the project. Close that. All right, now project 7. Select all of these files. Those all go here. Yes, replace. Okay, now do the same thing with project 8. Replace. And now project 9. Instructions and part 1. Copy, paste. If I did it right, there will be 40 changes. Close you, and now we commit them all. Commit all of his projects and push them all. Added part 1 instructions. Select all, enter. Whoa, I copied the wrong thing. Here's my commit message. Added part 1 instructions. That would have been a mess if I had that massive commit message. Copy. All right, so now we can just go through these. Commit, added part 1 instructions to all these. All right, got them all done. Now we can push. Oh, this window needs to be bigger. There we go. Now I can push all of these to the cloud. I gotta hand it to Visual Studio Code. They made this interface really, really easy to use and really efficient. It has sped up a lot of the course project. Okay, so he's all set up now. So, before I do that, let me close this and go over here and delete these projects. All right, so that's good to go there. So he's all set up here, so I can pin these. Let's see, he needs to have these pinned, whatnot, but let me do this first. Let me let him know that he has done all that stuff, and then I'll finish setting him up after that fact. All right, awesome. Can you edit your first message? So, well, it doesn't actually matter. Yes, actually, yeah, it does. Can you edit your GitHub links so they are all in one message? And I pushed all the projects like that. All right, cool. So he's rocking. All right, and so once he does that, I'll finish setting him up the rest of the way. All right, cool. So that takes up, that covers how I go through reviewing all of my projects. You saw how many that was. Yeah, hopefully that gives you a good vibe gives you a good idea about what is involved in maintaining this course. You know, setting up all the projects, going over everybody's stuff. I have to know what the projects are supposed to look like and whatnot, and what kind of errors the students run into and whether or not they are gonna need some help solving them or whatnot. For the most part, I didn't have anybody in here in this current round, actually for the past couple of weeks, who has run into like a crazy error message that they don't seem to be able to solve, which is a good sign that I'm teaching things in a good way, that they don't have questions, that they run into stuff that are like, I don't know how to cover this. You didn't cover this in the videos, or you haven't explained this yet, or they're trying to use stuff that hasn't been explained yet. So that's awesome. Yeah. Thumbs up for me and teaching that I'm currently providing in here. I'm glad that a lot of people are getting good use out of it, and that a lot of people are able to learn this skill. This is a really good skill to have. It opens a lot of doors. If you have this skill and you're good at it, you can get work for the rest of your life. It's kind of like if you're a musician and you make great music, people are always going to want to hire you for their stuff because what you contribute to their projects is very valuable to them. Same thing with coding. If you're working on small projects and the people that hire you to work on those small projects are going to find you really valuable if you do a good job and whatnot. If you are working for a company and they see that you are really valuable, like they're going to keep you around for a long time and they're going to use you to mentor new people that get added. Eventually you'll work your way up the ladder and become like a higher up that, does project management and like offers guidance in the projects and stuff. And you're not going so deep in on the code where you're like, implementing big features and stuff. So yeah, when people find out that you have a valuable skill, they take advantage of it and they make use of it, and they'll keep you around and they'll keep you busy and keep you employed. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. Check out the course, www.programmingformusicians.com. And yeah, see you in the next video. Deuces.